Monster Castle, paranormal, radio hound, Monster Castle, paranormal, digital radio, KTLK. Yeah, the Fringe FM.
What do you guys think of that, man?
I like that song. I give that one.
That's a hit, man. That's a hit song, man.
I couldn't hear that last one you were playing.
Oh no, Willie? How you doing, brother?
No, it was all right. It was all garbled up.
Aw, crap!
But I heard that first one, man. That was badass.
The first one's badass, in my opinion. I give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I'd give the other one a 6.
Really? Thank you. I actually really like the second one. Like I love the one you maybe I just got to hear it more, but I like both.
You need
both
to re-listen to it one more time.
No, I like both of them. No, Adam, you've got a talent, brother. That's a hit song, man. That's a hit song.
The first one was amazing.
No, they're both hit songs. They're both hit songs.
Wait for the replay to hear that second one.
Oh man, the second one is amazing, man. But we're gonna work on it, and since I'm a musician as well, I think we're gonna collaborate and try to produce this in a more presentable. Make them very nice and presentable for everyone, and I think we're gonna do something. I got some songs.
Hey, you go fuck it up, Wolf, man.
I don't fuck things up. What are you talking about?
Keep that drum. Keep that drum away
dirty
from it.
bits off of his freaking hit tunes, man.
Fuck you. I'm going to help him. What are you going to do? Do you play your fucking skin flute?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm ever sitting around a bonfire, I'd be playing.
Yeah, Mr. Harry Palmer himself over there.
Late, but if
you're great, man.
It,
somebody give this guy a bath.
I'm going to re-listen to it tonight.
Man.
Ain't he sweet? Smells like a petunia. He sure is cute. Your face, dearly precious.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe Kurt quit reading the Bible.
Did he? Because I went to the washroom, so I missed that.
Yeah, he didn't like where it was going.
Wow.
It was about breasts and
Yeah, but that was
infidelity and
cool,
sex and stuff.
man. That was so cool.
I can't believe he screened the Bible. Oh well.
Oh man. You know what? I should play.
Maybe that was a bad joke. Maybe that was a practical joke that wasn't good or something. But he should be able to read it from any Ezekiel chapter, right? It's all the word of the Lord,
Yeah.
The word of God.
right?
Hey Willie, here's one of my songs. What do you think of this? This is mine.
Maybe I can hear it. I don't know.
That definitely sucked. What do you think, Willie?
I honestly couldn't hear it. It was all garbled up.
Oh, that's probably just your phone connection. I don't know.
It must be. I'm still getting a big echo when I talk to you.
Aw, that sucks, man. We can hear you fine, though. You come out clearly on the air.
Huh.
There's no echo or nothing. You sound good.
No, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it later.
I'm sure you've heard it before. That's the Pyramid of Love song of mine. But yeah, Adam's awesome. I love that. Oh man, that I Search for You song creeps me out, but I love it, and I hear it in my dreams after. I just love that song. I've got all kinds of ideas running through my head.
Yeah.
What's the status on his book that he was writing?
Go ahead, Adam.
What was that? What was the question?
Yeah, you were writing a book earlier, Adam. I was wondering what the status is with that.
Oh, do you mean Path of the Scion?
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah. I turned in the book for editing from a pro, and it'll actually be ready in a couple of days, and then after that I'll be getting a book trailer made, and from there I will be getting ready to make a Facebook launch party, and I'll be selling the book.
Oh, wow. Very cool, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, but just wait till I get my hands on it. He told me I could do the final editing, Willie.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I'm changing a whole lot of things and making it really stupid.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should have an audiobook that Kurt reads.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he would do it for you. It's not very long.
Actually, no, it's quite an amazing book, and I'm not going to touch it.
Kurt, you'd have to edit out his snorts, man.
I can't. I tried editing. Well, so I edit. You know what? Believe it or not, I edit probably about 47 of his snorts per show.
Yeah, the magic number.
I pull down on the audio when I hear him start, and I pull it down. I actually do edit out a lot of his snorts. It's not easy.
Maybe we could get a donation. We could give him like $50 or $100 to do the audio version of his book. Wouldn't that be sweet? That's gonna take a little while.
I should be able to do the audio for you.
Yeah, that would work too.
No. I like the way actually Adam reads. I'd rather hear him do it. I'd rather hear his own voice.
Yeah, I could probably do that, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
If you want me to, I'd do it. I could do it very descriptively, but I'd actually rather hear your own voice.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather do it with my voice as well. And the thing with audiobooks is that they actually sell for more than print or ebooks.
It would be cool to just have it on my phone. I could listen to it on the way to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that could. Yeah, that would certainly work for you.
Hey, Willie, am I allowed to smoke pot on this show?
Oh, I thought you already were, man.
Well, it's your corner right now, Willie. So,
well, I just now finally got home, man. My damn truck broke down on me earlier, so I'm ready to drink me a damn beer.
Aw. Did your wife have kids? Did your wife have twins?
No, I didn't wipe anything out. No, just something in the front broke. I don't know, a tie rod or something.
Oh, fuck. Did your dog die?
No, my dog is inside. I haven't seen him yet.
Well, then you're all right. Your dog didn't die. Your wife didn't have twins, but your truck broke down. That's only 1 out of the 3.
Yeah, but I like my truck, man.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but you love your dog. That dog would be fun.
That is true. Hey, Wolfman.
Yeah.
I was listening to a different show this evening, and
how dare you?
What's that?
How dare you?
What a fucker!
It was, but our friend Michael from End of Days Radio was
yes,
on
sir.
It, and boy, he and Daniel were just going after each other.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. They're both good. Let each other go in their own directions.
Oh, they were getting personal about each other, man. It was crazy.
Were they both on the show at the same time?
I would have loved to hear that, though. That would have been good radio, eh? Hearing them two argue.
Oh, it was. I almost sent Darren a message, but I figured he was working. It came on 6 o'clock my time, so I think that's 7 Darren's
I
time.
would have loved it.
Damn. Okay, how do we get a hold of this?
Well, it was through Bell Gab.
Oh, so we can't
It's called,
re-listen.
it's called Martinez Tonight, and you can click on that, and they might have the show already up. I don't know.
Oh,
Ronald in the chat room wants to hear some Sabbath. Let me know which song it is, though. For the
what were
next.
they saying, Willie?
Sweet Leaf.
Okay,
What's that there?
No,
Sweet
that's-
Leaf. All right, we'll play Sweet Leaf next.
How long did they argue for?
Oh, they were on there for at least 10, 15 minutes.
Oh man.
I better sign off, guys.
Oh, thanks so much, Adam. That was amazing music, man.
It was. I'm gonna listen to it.
Like, you're not only an amazing author, you're an amazing musician. That is so
yeah.
wicked.
Thank you.
Very cool.
It was. The lyrics are great.
I can't believe the talent we have on this show. I really don't. It blows my mind. Like, Darren is a master interviewer. and a master of space and things on different planets, and then and then we got Adam, who is an amazing author and an amazing musician, and then we got Jeff. That is, what's his talent anyway?
Space guy.
I blow something.
I'm joking. Jeff is the comedian and definitely the funniest guy on the show.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Funny like haha.
And if you're at your sound effects board, everyone would know what kind of master you are of this electronics. But I can't believe you still could do stuff off your phone. Wow. Holy shit. He can still pull stuff up off his phone. Okay, do the can you do the in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Wolfman? Do you got that one?
You want to hear that one?
Yeah, I want to hear that one.
All right. Once.
It's fucking funny as hell. I love it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
Adam.
Pleasant dreams.
Lucid dreams, brother.
Lucid dreams.
In Technicolor.
All right.
And awesomeness.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Wolfman.
Here we go. Yeah, that's it.
In the beginning was the Wolfman. The Wolfman created the Wolf Pack. I'm the monster friend.
That's awesome.
How did you do that, man? He did this. Oh my God! Here I come between your legs.
No.
Here I come right on your face.
On your face. I thought it was here I come between your legs. Here I come right on your face. Ow!
Oops.
Man, that was good. That was good, Jeff. But
Yeah.
you know, anytime you're ready, I will fucking challenge you to an effects face-off. Who makes the best UFO sounds?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You know, I don't care.
Art Bell, are you on? What kind of device are you talking on? Can you take the? You're on speakerphone, aren't you?
You know, I don't care.
No, you don't sound very good, Art. And you know, I can hear an echo in the. Shut up! I can hear an echo. If you don't turn off your device, I will have to hang up on you, sir.
You know, I don't care.
I don't care either. You got nothing else to say?
Art, you mind if I fondle your nutsack?
You know, I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. We love Art Bell. I wish he wouldn't call in all the time, and he doesn't take his, he doesn't turn off your device. He doesn't turn his device off.
We gotta get. We need more Art Bell.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll work. Yeah, I can get him. I can get more of them around here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There's lots
yours
more.
sounds better than Wolfman's.
It's
clear.
Really?
I don't have that.
I don't care.
That is all Jeff, man. That's not me.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds good tonight.
No, that's Jeff that
Wow.
does that. He does a lot of effects that you think are me, but it's him.
Right. Cool.
Well, no shit.
It's Jeff all the time. You guys don't know. He's doing half the effects all the time on the shows, man.
I didn't know that.
You didn't. Oh my God, you didn't know that?
I knew he did some.
It was just wheels in the sky.
I do like that Wheels in the Sky. That shit's hilarious.
Wee-haw! Trolls are us, yeah!
Trolls are us. Do you have an internet troll problem? Well, we can help. Just search for trollsrus.com. We will send all kinds of trolls to the party that is trolling you. Just listen to our best customer.
Myself, when I was getting trolled hard by a group of trolls, and I said to myself, there's got to be some truth to what these guys are saying. It's got to be. And so it was at that time I started really replaying and listening to myself in the car, wherever I was. And I thought, I'm a pompous bitch.
Go to Trolls Are Us today and take care of your problems in our snarky fashion. That's trollsrus.com.
Yeehaw! Trolls are us!
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
That sounds like a Canadian-based company.
Oh, yeah.
You should play that news report, Wolfman.
Oh, yeah. But,
You got a news report?
I do.
He did.
I have to find it, though. Okay.
Well, there's the news intro.
No, don't put me on the spot like that. I have to look for it. I can't even remember where I
All
have
right,
it.
we'll start again.
I have to try to remember where the hell was that. Okay, I think I know where it is. And then I have to patch another thing in. Yeah,
Breaking news.
I can do it. Willie, are you still there?
Yeah, I might hang up shortly because the sound is just terrible.
Monster Castle. Paranormal. Radio Hound. Radio Hound. Monster Castle. Paranormal. Digital Radio. KTLK. Yeah, The Fringe FM.
Though its author is disputed, with the poem being attributed to both Clement Clark Moore and Henry Livingston Jr. over the years, it was definitely first published on December 23rd, 1823. Well, I didn't know that. In the Troy Sentinel
Yeah,
newspaper.
I'm sharing my screen. If anybody can see it, here's what I'm looking
being
at.
changed
It
on
says
your
who
end.
has
Otis,
access.
get away and quit barking.
Debbie
Go back to
Daly
bed.
can
Go.
modify, and then Monster Castle
What an awesome name
Paranormal
for a
owner.
doggy song.
But what can I modify? Modify
Everybody,
what?
everybody
Sing a
should
song
have
for
a
my
dog
girl.
named Otis.
Otis,
Right.
or Otis,
I don't
one of
get
my
it.
pit bull dogs, cool dog. But
Who's
Jamie
Alan
Jackson, my
Jackson?
sister
Oh.
from
What?
Maryland,
Yeah.
and Troy, they're twin dogs, is his
Wolfman.
her dog. So she let
That's
him
the settings,
in.
right? That's the only
and
settings
not,
I have is right there.
Can you hear me,
Otis.
Wolfman?
So Otis is jealous and barking up a storm.
Can anybody
Anyway,
hear me?
let's continue.
I hear you.
Poor guy.
It is live. Right?
I don't know.
Heard
It says, where
under
should
the
we
title
send your money? And it says, set
Troy,
up
of all
automatic withdrawal.
things.
And when I
Troy
click
is my
that,
sister's dog,
I don't know
Sentinel.
who that is.
It takes me to
Newspaper
this
owns
thing
that
again.
coincidence
Is that
there
some sort
in
of alias
upstate
troll
New
that we
I
York.
don't know what the hell this
It
is.
is also referred to as a visit from St. Nicholas
I don't know.
or the
Check.
night before Christmas.
Stupid.
And below, I'll read this. This
I know
was
what's going on.
getting my source.
It was called something else. It was called an account of something originally. Yeah.
Well, it shows that they were referred to as a visit from St. Nicholas
No.
or the night before Christmas, which we all sort of know it
What are
as.
you listening
But
to?
I
the
don't
Huffington
know.
Post, this was a
What the
2011
fuck is that?
article, so all of that
I'm trying to figure
information
it out.
came from
I
Huffington.
don't know. It's not
Right,
Folks, here we go.
Where's that coming from?
Lord help
Not coming
me.
from
Now,
me.
'twas the night before
Oh
Christmas.
my God, that's Kurt. Twas the night before Christmas to Kurt Green.
I don't know what to do.
Well, I do.
What
I
do
have to
do?
do one song for my girl first, and then I'll figure it out after. I have to do this. You can sing with me if you want. Everybody sing along. Two young people without and spread their wings, settle down just what they need, living on love. She don't care about what's in style. She just likes the way he smiles. It takes just a moment of time, living on love. Living on love, buying on time. Without somebody, nothing ain't worth a dime. Just like an old-fashioned nursery, living on love. It's all simple, that's what you're thinking. But you can walk on without sinking. It doesn't take much when you get enough. Living on love. Debbie, you got the next verse. Without a thing. Children gone, but they still sing. Side by side on the front porch swing. Living on love. Sing it, come on everybody. Can't see anymore, so she can barely sweep the floor. Hand in hand, they walk to the door. Living on love. Living on love, dying on time. Without somebody, nothing ain't worth a dime. Just like an old-fashioned nursery rhyme. Living on love. It sounds simple, that's what they're thinking. You can walk on fire without blinking. It doesn't take much, you get enough. Living on love. Living on love, dying on time. Without somebody, nothing ain't worth a dime. It's like an old-fashioned nursery rhyme. Living on love. sounds simple. That's what you're thinking. But you can walk on water without sinking. It doesn't take much when you get enough. Living on love. No, it doesn't take much when you get enough. Living on love. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guys like that?
Yeah. Anyways, that was one of my girl's favorite songs, so I had to sing it. That was for Sandra.
The donations are growing. We had another donation of $50 just 51 minutes ago.
Wow.
But I can't get it out. Up at the top, I click withdraw, and it says, nope, only Wolfman can get it out.
I'm trying to withdraw right now.
He'll probably figure it out. He just hasn't taken the time to do it yet.
I'm stupid this way. I've never used this before.
I know, I'm the same way.
It's not clicking to a different screen. It keeps going back to the same one.
You might let it simmer for a while. It might get way up high.
Oh my God! Verify my info again. Oh my God!
There you go. Let it simmer. Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Huh. Wow. How come it's not okay? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my email. I'm gonna go back to the original email you sent me. You didn't change nothing, did you? Yet? Because that's probably
I haven't
why.
done anything. Nothing.
If you didn't change anything, it should work on my original email.
No, I haven't changed a thing. I'm just sitting here looking at the campaign. It's called a campaign. I don't see anything.
Wolfman for Congress. The Senate can get him into.
Yeah, I'm really good. I'll make a lot of money for everyone. Just fuck, I can't even know how to withdraw it.
Is there like some little small town that we can make a mayor of down there in Texas, Debbie? That I don't know. You know that better than me.
I'm signed in, and it's telling me here I'm signed in, but it won't. Children gone, but they still sing side by side on the front porch swing, living on love. Sing it, come on, everybody. Can't see anymore, but she can barely sweep the floor. Hand in hand, they walk through the door, living on love, living on love. Lying on time without somebody, nothing ain't worth the time. Just like an old-fashioned nursery rhyme, living on love. It sounds simple, that's what they're thinking. You can walk on fire without blinking. It doesn't take much, you get enough. Living on love. Living on love, lying on time. Without somebody, nothing ain't worth the time. It's like an old-fashioned nursery rhyme. Living on love. Well, it sounds simple, that's what you're thinking. But you can walk on water without sinking. It doesn't take much when you get enough. Living on love. No, it doesn't take much if you get enough. Living on love, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You guys like that?
Yeah. Anyways, that was one of my girl's favorite songs, so I had to sing it. That was for Sandra.
The donations are growing. We had another donation of $50 just 51 minutes ago.
Wow.
But I can't get it out. Up at the top, I click withdraw, and it says, nope, only Wolfman can get it out.
I'm trying to withdraw right now.
He'll probably figure it out. He just hasn't taken the time to do it yet.
I'm trying. I'm stupid this way. I've never used this before.
I know. I'm the same way.
It's not clicking to a different screen. It keeps going back to the same one.
You might let it simmer for a while. It might get way up high.
Oh my God! Verify my info again. Oh my God!
There you go. Let it simmer. Simmer down now. Simmer down.
Huh. Wow. How come it's not okay? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my email. I'm gonna go back to the original email he sent me. You didn't change nothing, did you?
Could I get in trouble? Because that's the Beatles. Should I not play that? Does it matter? Didn't Debbie say the Beatles and Michael Jackson aren't those the two that you can't play? Otherwise, the Illuminati will come after you.
Okay, that's a different one. Okay. Yeah. You know they were Satanists, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. They cloned that one guy. Who was that one guy?
Yeah, the Beatles were all clones.
He died, and then they cloned him or something. So
they were all Satanist clones, right?
I think so. Most of them are clones.
They're part of the Illuminati. They're actually reptilians from the.
Yeah, and they just constantly heroin. They live on heroin. People don't know that, but that's reptilians live off of heroin. That's how they survive.
Yeah.
True story.
No, it won't let me go further than this. That's it. That's it. I sign in. I'm signed in, and it won't fucking let me go any further than you're almost done. All information is securely stored. I sign in properly, and it won't go further than that page.
Is there like a little box somewhere that's...
I don't want people's money to go somewhere else. I want it to go...
I like that song. It's the only song.
Oh, I forgot to tell Alan where to listen. Shit. He should know. Fucking electrocute someone. That's bullshit. People fucking.
Yeah.
Well,
that was part of that movie.
Okay,
that was normal.
Showed out
right?
to.
You didn't even realize. Is if you inject stem cells, who was from the Lost in Space thing, he's kind of a musician too.
Monster Castle, paranormal.
that is filled with fear. I can't go here, can't go there, and I ain't supposed to go anywhere at all. When I asked my mom if she could let me go out and play like little children do, she said, be careful of the stranger, giving candies to children and then take them away. He lives in the gullies of the city, the black heart man, y'all, the black heart man. Even in the lonely parts of the country, you find the black heart man, y'all, the black heart man. He ain't got no friend, no home, no family. He's the black heart man, y'all. That's the black heart man. He is famed to live just like a gypsy. He's the black heart man, yeah. Growing and learning and gathering for myself a little more experience, jumping over the fence. Curiosity has brought me, yes, it's brought me a little common sense, yeah. Prodding the road of life, I've come to this one conclusion: that everything is equal under the sun. All that is created by the mighty hand, yeah. And he said, knock, and it shall be open. Seek and ye shall find. Wisdom is found in the simplest place, in the nick of time. Knock, and it shall be open. Seek and ye shall find. Wisdom is found in the simplest of places, in the nick of time. Now I trod the same road of affliction, just like the black heart man, just like the black heart man. Getting my share of humiliation, just like the black heart man, y'all. Black heart man. You find me in the prisons or the dungeon, just like the black heart man, yeah. The black heart man. I even get played without a reason, just like the black heart man, just like the black heart man, y'all. No cross, no crown, no sorrow, no laughter. Trial and crosses in a highway. But the heart of the battle is the sweeter. Jaja victory. Ooh-wee. Ancient children used to say, if you want what you know, it's got to run, run, run. How could the world go free? Let ya bear the cross alone. Them that drink of the old wine have no place for the new, for the new. And the stones that are head of the corner are the same ones that the builders refuse Hear me when I say now, it's the black heart man, children, who become the wonder of the city. It's the black heart man, children.
She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where I caught her eye. She told me that her dad was loaded. I said, in that case, I'll have a rum and Coca-Cola. She said, fine. And in 30 seconds time, she said, I want to live like common people. I want to do whatever common people do. I want to sleep with common people. I want to sleep with common people like you. Well, what else could I do? I said, I'll see what I can do. I took her to a supermarket. I don't know why, but I had to start it somewhere. So it started there. I said, pretend you've got no money. She just laughed and said, oh, you're so funny. I said, yeah? Well, I can't see anyone else smiling in here. Are you sure? You want to live like common people? You want to see whatever common people see? You want to sleep with common people? You want to sleep with common people like me? But she didn't understand.
She just smiled and held my hand. Ran to Plaza Barber Shop. Cut your hair and get a job. Smoke some fags and play some pool. Pretend you never went to school, but still you'll never get it right. When you're lying in bed at night, watching roaches climb the wall. If you called your dad, he could stop it all here.
You'll never live like common people. You'll never do whatever common people do. You'll never fail like common people. You'll never watch your life slide out of you and dance and drink and screw, because there's nothing else to do.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman Mike.
Yeah, this is where the real freaks hang out, alright? Yeah! Let's get some rock and roll, baby, yeah!
Welcome everybody. How's it going out there tonight?
I've got some people on with me. Welcome, everybody. Reverend John Polk. Are you there, John?
I am.
Right on. Okay. Darren, are you there?
I am here.
Right on. Welcome, everybody. Looks all right.
Thank you.
Oh, man, another late start for me. Nobody woke me up. Crazy guy sleeping through his show. All right. You should have phoned me again, Darren. I could have woke up to you phoning me again.
I phoned you as soon as I got home from work, man. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have it on automatic answer. My wife was supposed to wake me up, and she did not. She fell asleep, too. That was bullshit.
Well,
so I might have...
a few minutes late.
I might have to get Igor to electrocute her. I don't know. What do you think? I'll forgive her this time. Okay, the topic I guess we're going to use tonight is spirit guides.
Sweet.
And Reverend John?
Yes.
Your spirit guide is White Wolf, right?
Yeah, his name is White Wolf or Wolf Spirit.
Oh, cool. Well,
I believe in a wolf. Do you believe in a wolf, Darren?
I do.
Right on.
I think that's such a synchronicity. We started chatting and being friends, and then I look at your picture for your show, John, and then there's a wolf there. I was like, whoa. I believe in a wolf.
You know, we all have spirit guides in the form of a human, but we also have spirit guides in the form of an animal, and that's often overlooked. So when I first came in touch with White Wolf, I had a psychic medium at my house doing an exorcism on me and the succubus that's connected to me, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. And I always knew I had a spirit guide, but I really never knew what its name was. And she told me his name was White Wolf. And whenever he's around, and he's always around, but whenever he's really close to me, he literally has a pack of wolf cubs that follow him everywhere he goes, which is really cool.
Yeah. That is pretty neat. Little cuties, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a limit to how many spirit guides we can have?
No, I don't think so. I always believe that wherever I go, I have legions of angelic light workers, spirit guides, etc., that follow me everywhere because I invite them to, and they feed off of me, and I feed off of them.
Yeah,
that sure be neat to see.
White Wolf, wait for
if we could see him.
Hey, White Wolf, wait for us! Hey!
I think I heard them. I think I heard the little puppy spirit guides.
Yeah, well, they're always with us. We just have to open our minds to the fact that they're always there. And they make themselves known to us in many ways. We're just so stuck in the third density 3D earth plane that we're taught also that there's no such thing as ghosts, but they're very much real, and they're always there with us.
Right on. Okay, I gotta. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get Jeff on here. What's going on? Oh, somebody was trying to phone me. Whoever, if you're listening, go ahead and call in. We are taking calls tonight. The number is 775-990-8447. But somebody kept calling my Skype over and over and over, and I'm not sure. It's an unknown number. Whoever it was, go ahead, call in again. I'm here now. I think we have Jeff with us.
So, John,
I think we do have.
Yeah.
John, is your newest book about spirit guides?
No, actually, my newest book is about running into extraterrestrials at a UFO conference, and there was over 20 witnesses to this. So that's what my latest book is about.
That sounds amazing. Are we able to talk about that tonight at all, Wolfman, too?
Sure. Let's talk about that right now. I want to hear about the latest book. Yeah.
Okay, it's called The Blue Beings Visitation at the UFO Conference, and I was the opening speaker at the Experiencer Speak 4 conference August 28th of last year, and I conducted a seance. And the cool thing about Experiencer Speak is that everybody there, for the most part, is an experiencer. So, has had ET contact, ghost contact, or has bare minimum seen a UFO. So I take full advantage of that by tapping into all of that celestial energy. I have everybody hold hands, and I go into this seance designed to lure angels, archaliens, and ET into the room. And one thing I mention also is that ET is in the room with us right now. They're just vibrating at a higher frequency, which makes them invisible to us in the third density. But if you know how to increase and raise your vibration to a higher frequency, you can actually look into those extra dimensional realms. And I know how to do it, and I can teach people how to do it. And anyway, so I do this seance, and I say before the end of the conference, somebody's going to see something. Something's going to happen. So Travis Walton was the keynote speaker, the very last person to speak on August 29th, ironically on the full moon. And right as he was about to speak, 4 people walk into the room, and 2 of them had blue skin. And there was over 20 witnesses to this. It's a long story, but that's just a summary of it.
Yeah, were they taking a huge amounts of colloidal silver by any chance?
That's a good question. A number of us got a very good look at them, and they walked up to me and they talked to me. Now, can I prove or disprove that they just took a bunch of colloidal silver and their skin turned blue? I can't prove or disprove that, but one thing I can prove is that anybody and everybody that was a witness to them lost significant amounts of time, including Audrey Hewins, who is the lady that puts on the conference every year. They walk in, they have money in their hand, and they walk up to me and ask me if I'm the one that they pay to see Travis Walton. And I say, no, let me go find Audrey. I find her twin sister, Debbie, and then Debbie finds her sister, Audrey, once again, the organizer of this conference. And then she pulls them into the light because it was dark because we were about to watch Travis's new DVD entitled Travis. And so she pulls them into the light, and then that's when she realized that they had blue skin. And I've been on a number of shows talking about this. I've been on Jimmy Church's show talking about it. So right after that, they walk up to Travis Walton and say, hey, Travis, we came here to see you. And
no,
I'm totally serious.
Did you
Now,
recognize
Travis does not want to talk about this, but he is in a relationship now with Audrey Hewins. And Audrey and I went on Jimmy Church's show and talked about all this at length. And she basically exposed him for seeing the blue beings and actually talking to them. And then after the whole conference was over, the blue beings, they came up and started talking to me. So the second day, there was about 150 people in this conference. And out of everybody in the room, they walked up to me and started talking to me, which blew my mind. And they did the Jedi mind trick on me also because I was about to take pictures of them. So was a bunch of people.
Yeah.
A lot of us were about to take pictures of them, and we all forgot. How do you forget to take pictures of a blue person? How do you forget to do that?
Because you're awestruck.
They did the Jedi mind trick on us, and I basically was in a state of paralysis standing up. And then all of a sudden, the cobwebs cleared, and we're standing around going, oh my God, we just talked to Pleiadians, shape-shifting Pleiadians. That's what they said that they were. So, either they were, some some kind of plant by the government, or they were very, very real. And I know that they were real.
I think that's so cool, but sometimes when I have a UFO sighting, I feel the same way I was going to mention. Sort of so awestruck, and you just forget to take a picture. Yeah. And I don't even know if you forget to take a picture. You're right about that.
What was their message to you guys?
It's funny. There's this guy. His name is R. Keith Andrews. He was one of the key witnesses also. But he walked up to them, and bear in mind they were standing next to me the entire time. But he walked up to them and asked if they were from the Pleiades, and they said yes. And let's call their leader. His name is Don. He said that his name is Don because we would not be able to pronounce his real name. So let's just call him Don. And he said that he's a shifter and a healer. And he started asking me about my book. He told me that somebody had drugged his son, and that now his son is back in his care and he's nursing him back to health. And what's very, very strange is that his son looked more like his grandson in appearance, but his son looked pretty much just like Jason Martell. I don't know if you know who Jason Martell is.
Got a little bit.
I'm not sure.
He's on Ancient Aliens quite a bit, but
I've heard of Jason
whoever
Martell.
this individual was, he looked like Jason Martell. But when I got a good look at him, he had these huge eyes that were void of any color. They were just big black spheres in his eye orbits. I have never seen anything like it in my entire life.
Somebody is listening to our feed. I can hear an echo. I'm not sure. Can you, whoever it is,
an echo on everybody?
I can hear.
Like last
week,
or?
I think it's gone now. I think it's gone. Yeah, all you have to do is mute your mic if you want to listen. That's fine. Go ahead, guys.
So, did they look like, besides the one guy, were they good looking? Did they look like humans? Did they look blue humans or?
All right, there was 4 of them total. 2 of them had the blue skin. The other one looked like Jason Martell with the huge black eyes, which I've never seen anything like that in my life. And then the other one was maybe 5 foot tall, bald, with a Fu Manchu, white cutoff, sleeveless shirt, and blue jeans and moccasins. He kind of looked like a biker. Just curiously short, though. They all looked very different in appearance outside of the 2 that had the blue skin, but they all looked different in age also, which was interesting. One looked about, and I'll call Don their leader, he looked about 65. There was another one with the blue skin that was tall, thin, had blondish hair, parted on the side. They looked like human beings. I mean, they looked just like human beings, with the exception of those 2 that had the blue skin, and then the other one with the big black eyes. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. Blew my mind, blew all of our minds, actually.
Are you sure that they were? Wait a minute. Do you think that the biker-looking guy, could have been one of those escaped convicts from Krypton?
I wouldn't rule that out.
So did they kind of barge in like right before Travis's movie went on, or?
Yeah, and what's interesting is that if you go to these UFO conferences, just like a lot of conferences, they're almost always late. And this one was late, okay? But they walked in at the exact perfect moment to be able to talk to Travis before he actually did his presentation. So it was a trip.
Did you guys see them leave? Or did you just have missing time and they were gone?
Every one of us thought about walking outside right behind them and following them, and we all were in a state of paralysis. We all just got totally frozen in our tracks. None of us walked out. Although one person did walk out after they left and said that they saw this white flash come up off the top of the hotel. And what was interesting is that there was military helicopters flying over the hotel the whole time also. Like as if they knew something was in the area.
Wow. That's amazing. They just wanted to come in and see you guys for a bit. They talked to Travis. Who else did they talk to besides you and Travis? Anybody else?
They talked to Audrey Hewins, who's the one who puts on the conference every year. They, they talked to Audrey Hewins' twin sister, and Audrey and her twin sister have been on TV a number of times. They're abductees, and unfortunate for them, they're breeders, basically. They get abducted for breeding purposes. But those two saw them. Travis talked to them. I talked to them. R. Keith Andrews, who was Psychic of the Year in Canada a number of years ago, he talked to them. His wife, Angela, talked to them also. So there was a number of us talked.
Did you do interviews for your book about what everybody saw and what they remember?
I did. And this is very strange, but a lot of the witnesses are afraid to talk about it. So what I did is I went on a number of radio shows and basically transcribed what people were saying, because a lot of people, they don't want to talk about this anymore. Travis definitely doesn't want to talk about it, but now he's in a relationship with Audrey Hewins, and Audrey and I went on Jimmy Church's show Fade to Black and talked about this for 2.5 hours. So it was a trip, and I went on to these shows and other shows that I knew of people, of witnesses talking about it, and I just sat there for hours, painstaking hours, transcribing every single word that I could possibly pick up on that related to what happened, and then put it in my book.
Well, I got a question or comment here. How do you know that it's? You said you were feeling sorry for the ones that do have the breeding. How do you know they don't like it? They're having breeding with extraterrestrials, though.
How do I know they don't like it? That's a good question. I don't know that. Well, here's something. Audrey is not capable of having children because of what has happened to her on her insides.
Oh my God.
I know that she's not happy about that, and that I saw her on TV. I believe it was on Destination America. They were doing a show about abduction, and she talked about it.
And does Travis feel like that's kind of like cheating on him?
I don't know. I don't know the intimacy of their relationship, but I do know that they both believe that each other are going through what each other went through. They're both abductees. I'm an abductee. I've been an abductee since I was a teenager.
Oh, I was kidding with those questions, anyways. Okay.
But
it's actually kind of a good question. The last one.
Yeah,
it is kind of a good question. I was joking at first, but it actually is. It could actually get in the way of their relationship.
Absolutely, it could.
But I know
if they're ever abducted together. Oh, he has never been abducted, as far as he knows, since the big one in Arizona, has he?
You know what? He hadn't talked about it. If he has. But it was interesting. I got to hang out with Travis at the conference and talk to him, and he doesn't like to talk about it too much. It's like left an indelible mark on him, almost like a scar, and he doesn't like to really talk about it much. And he absolutely will not talk about these blue beings at all. Although his current girlfriend Audrey Hewins has talked about it on radio shows, and I don't know if it's really ticked him off or not that she has done it, but she definitely has, and I've been on shows with her talking about it.
Did anybody in the room think that, like afterwards when you guys are reconnoitering or whatever, did anyone think they were just people, or did everybody know something special happened?
Everybody knew something happened, and the reason is because we all lost time. We all came to a collective conclusion that they did what you could call the Jedi mind trick on us. And I came up with the term alien anesthesia. And whenever they administer alien anesthesia on you, I don't think it's a product of technology. I think it's a cerebral, mental kind of capacity that they have that we primitive humans in the third density don't have.
I will totally agree with that because they talk to me sometimes telepathically, and I'm sure if they can talk telepathically, then it's not very far off for them to just kind of make you lose your memories for a little while.
Yeah, and you remember only what they want you to remember, if anything at all. So get this. They go up to Audrey, and they don't really understand the paper currency that they have. They have money in their hand. Imagine if you have a book, and you open the book, and you have each palm on each side of the book. That's the way they were carrying the money. And walked up to Audrey, and I'm serious, they didn't even know how much money they had. So Audrey's like, okay, if you give me 4 of these, you can come in and watch Travis. So she took their money, and then after that, Audrey completely blacked out and forgot everything. She said that nobody even talked to her about it the rest of the night, which is not true, and that she didn't even remember anything about it until the next morning. So that was a trip.
So there was. It's not really lost time. It's lost memories. They were there for a given amount of time. It wasn't like you guys felt blacked out or anything.
No, I guess you're correct when you say that. So yeah, I mean, I was basically in a state of paralysis when I went to go. I mean, my phone is right there in my hand, and I'm about to turn. And bear in mind that this guy, I shook his hand. He was within inches of me the entire time, and all I had to do was just turn, a quarter turn and take a picture with my phone, and I couldn't even do that. And then Ron Sharfy, one of the key witnesses, he was doing videography on the conference. He had this like $5,000 digital camera, and he forgot to take pictures of them. It's like how do all these people
What about
forget?
the hotel security cameras?
That's a good question. You know what? Audrey talked to the management about that, and they've never been able to get the footage.
There's not a single picture of them. How about drawings? Did you ever draw a picture of what they look like, or anybody else?
Yeah, actually, my publicist's boyfriend drew a picture of them, and it's actually my book cover, which you can, if you go to my website, johnpolkmedia.com, whether you buy the book or not, you can still see the book cover on the website.
How long is the book? That sounds like a great book.
Is
it pretty
it's like
thick?
147 pages.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to buy that for sure. It's
Well,
a great
to
story.
be honest with you, right now it's not totally edited, so it's only $5 if you want to buy the e version of it.
Okay, no problem.
And here's something else that's a trip, is that Audrey, she saw a female with them, and I didn't see a female with them. A number of us did not see the female with them. Now, her and her twin sister saw a female with them, and the female had blue skin also. But at no time did I see this female. But I'm looking at my book cover right now, which is on johnpolkmedia.com, and Brett Colin Shepard, my publicist's boyfriend, he came up with these drawings, or with this drawing, and it's pretty close. It's pretty close to what they looked like, although he included the female, which I did not see. So it was his best artist rendering, and it's not exact, but it's pretty close.
If I wanted to go to one of these conferences as someone that hasn't had an experience, would I be welcome there just as much as anybody else, or?
Yeah,
would it be
absolutely.
weird.
Yeah, I mean, every year she does this conference. She lives in Portland, Maine. So they do it in Portland, Maine every year. I went to Experiencer Speak 3 back in 2014, and that was the first UFO conference I'd ever gone to. And then then again, the very next year, I was asked by Audrey to be the opening speaker at the conference because she knew I would take a spiritual approach to it. And like I said, I did a seance because that's what I do. I can conjure up the spirit world, and it's pretty easy for me. But to be quite honest with you, I had no clue that, 4 shape-shifting extraterrestrials that look like humans, 2 with blue skin, 1 with big black eyes, would walk into the room and come up and talk to me. I had no clue that would happen, but it absolutely did.
But hey, Darren. Hey, Darren,
Yes.
if you want to fit in, just like eat lots of blueberries and take a lot of colloidal silver, smear some blueberry juice on your face, take a bath in blueberry juice. Why not?
And I'll just go in there and go straight up to John just to freak him out. Oh my goodness, what a great story. How long did it take before you knew something weird was going on? Like when they came up to you, were you like, this is kind of weird, or were you like, this is definitely...
Imagine talking to somebody with blue skin for close to 10 minutes before you actually realized that they had blue skin. So I'm going through it in my mind as we're talking about it right now. I can remember the moment that Don knew that I finally figured it out that he was an extraterrestrial. And then that's when I was about to get my phone and take a picture of him, and I completely... I did miss time, actually, because I forgot what I was doing. I completely forgot what I was doing. I was in a state of paralysis. And what was weird, there was many weird parts to it, but the one with the big black eyes, at one point, Don was getting very loose and comfortable, and he was fielding questions from multiple people. And that was around the time where I started to figure out, oh my God, this guy's got blue skin. And right as that popped into my mind, I'm looking in Don's eyes, and he's looking in my eyes. And man, did I travel a great distance to a galaxy far, far away during that time period. And what probably took only a few seconds seemed like it took years. But the one with the big black eyes, right at that time, he deliberately walked in front of me and in front of my table, because I was selling my book back then, my first book, and deliberately distracted me and got my attention. And then he goes, I look him in the eye, and he looks me in the eye, and I see that he's got black eyes, that he's not a human being. And then he goes, the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki, kind of like he was autistic, like Rain Man or something. And
an autistic alien? Wow. Hey, what I want to ask about his eyes before we... were they just like totally black, no whites of the eyes, or were just
exactly
complete, so like a black-eyed child? You're talking like
your eye being black, and then there's just nothing but black, just black eyes inside these huge. And he had curiously large eyes and eye orbits. Also, it's very, very trippy to even think about.
John, you said they asked him a bunch of questions. Did they play the movie, or did everything stop and everyone just started asking him stuff?
What happened is they walk in. They they walk in. They ask me if I'm the one who they paid to see Travis. I say no. I find Audrey's twin sister Debbie, who takes them to find Audrey, and then they talk with Audrey. They finally figure out the money thing. They had no concept of what the money even was. They just knew that it was important. Then they walk over to Travis, and then they sat down after they talked to Travis. And right around that time when they sat down, the DVD started playing, and it was probably an hour and a half of watching the DVD. So put it this way, at that point, I didn't get a good enough look at them because the lights were dimmed, and they walked in with money. Wanting my job to take the money.
So they watched the show.
I didn't pick up on it until after the whole thing was over. Travis did a 45-minute question and answer period after the DVD. And then as soon as that was over, they walked up to me and started talking to me, more specifically Don, their leader. And that was just a total trip, man. Unbelievable trip.
Did you talk to all of them or just Don? Did you talk to the weird guy with the sleeveless white shirt and the weird hair?
No, I didn't. I talked to Don, and I briefly talked to the one with the black eyes. and the other two did not talk. No, I'm wrong. The other blue being, once he could see that Don was getting all loose and comfortable, and our Keith Andrews and his wife came up to him and gave him a hug. And
wow. Why'd
and
you do that?
Right around that time, most of us just blacked out and forgot what we were doing.
Well,
what did they have?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What did they have to communicate? You said they were asking them questions. Did you piece together what things they talked about at all? Can you discuss any of the stuff they talked about?
What happened? Don came up to me, and the very first thing that he said was, and he pointed out the one with the big black eyes. He said, "That's my son," and he was with his stepfather, and his stepfather was drugging him. And now he's in my custody, and I'm taking care of him, and I'm nursing him back to health. That was the very first thing that he said. And I believe that he said that to me because they had planned to do that Jedi mind trick on me. They had planned to do it on everybody. And that Ron Sharfie, the guy that was doing the videography and one of the key witnesses, he said, "I'll bet you that was a trigger mechanism to set off the alien anesthesia." And the more I thought about it, I'm like, Ron, that's probably correct. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense to me. And it's funny because, this story I'm telling now, I met this guy from Brisbane, Australia, and he knew all about the story. He didn't hear it from me, but he did hear about it somehow. And he said pretty much the same thing happened to him at a UFO conference in Australia, where it was just one of them, but he was sitting there communicating telepathically with an extraterrestrial at the conference. So at first they were talking, through their mandibles, and then they quit talking and were just communicating with each other mentally and telepathically. And I'm like, wow, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff.
So they've been to other. Is it the same group that went to the other conferences, or there's other conferences where aliens showed up?
Yeah, at the UFO Congress last year, after Dr. Stephen Greer spoke, probably 20 or more witnesses saw a very, very tall extraterrestrial at the conference.
Like a Nordic?
Yeah, and then out in Joshua Tree at the, Contact in the Desert a couple years ago, there was an extraterrestrial spotted by multiple people walking the desert by himself. And then there was some men in black were actually caught on video going in and out of a hotel at a UFO conference. So what happened to me is not totally unique. It has happened before. And I remember the conference is over, and I'm in the airport, and I see this lady who was at the conference, and we happened to be on the same flight. And I asked her about it, and she said, whenever I go to these UFO conferences, I'm always looking for them because at least one person in these conferences is a human alien hybrid, and often they look so human you can't even tell. Prime Minister Medvedev of the Soviet Union, Russia, he said that there are so many human alien hybrids in Russia alone that he was afraid to go public and tell how many that he believed were in his country. Sun Shi Li, who is the head of a UFO organization in China, says the exact same thing about the human alien hybrids, that you look at them, you wouldn't be able to pick them apart from any other human because they look incredibly human, although they possess powers, telepathic and mental powers that we humans don't have.
Do we need to be afraid of being abducted? Now that you've been abducted and Wolfman's been abducted, I mean, is it something that's bad? Is it good? Is it dramatic? Is it enlightening?
It depends on the individual. I live in Florida. There's a lady, and she always insists that I keep her nameless, so I will. But she gets poked and prodded, and she's a breeder, so it's horribly traumatic for her. my abductions have been nothing but completely and totally positive. Although the very first time I can remember, I know that they did something to me. I believe they were taking genetic material from me for breeding purposes.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
No.
Why
I
are
mean,
they doing
after that
Does
happened,
anyone-
my front genitalia and even my butt hurt for a number of days. And then eventually it went away, and I went on with life as if it didn't happen. But then as I got older, I used the term I came up with, pop my alien memory cap, where I was able to remember it more and more vividly than ever before.
Oh, wow.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a short break here. It's about that time, eh? And I'm going to try to fix a couple issues we've been having, and we'll be back shortly. This is going to be, I think I'm going to use some reggae music to cheer everybody up. So if any of those aliens try abducting you, I would suggest, like the old plumber that I talked to, if I've got to move this toilet one more time, somebody's going to get a black eye.
Hey, watch the places you walk and mind the way you talk. Watch out for the vampire who will sneak up in the dark. Watch out for the big time thief who claim say that them smart. They're bringing the crack and the gun to come mash up the youth them heart. Later and red, when you all a look them on a tea bread. I hear an it's you dead. Whoa, later and red, when you all a sick them on a tea bread. I hear an it's you dead. Watch it. The mark of the beast are coming and are sneaking under man feet. A revelation time, check the signs of the time. Then a feel the heat. Now you see the youth, they leg out the street and you know say things now go sweet. Man a hustle, man a shuffle, hungry belly, they a yard, can't find food to eat. Ledger and red, where they all a look down on a tea bread. I hear an it's you dead. Whoa, yeah. Ledger and red, where they all a stick down on a tea bread. I hear an it's you dead. It don't even make no sense you tell the man them pull down the gun. I can turn your back and let the life gone down. These are the time we should have some fun. Give thanks to Jack as the man soon come. It don't make no sense you tell the man them let the politics. I can turn your back and let the man get tricked. Mama, let her on red. When you all a look down on a TV, I hear next you dead. Whoa, yeah. Let her on red. When you all a stick down on a TV, I hear next you dead. Yeah. Hey, watch the places you walk and mind the way you talk. Watch out for the vampire who will sneak up in the dark. Watch out for the big time crook who claim say that them smart. But I bring in the crack and the gun to come mash up the youth them heart. Later on red, then you all a look them on that tea bread. I hear an ex you dead. Whoa, later on red, then you all a look them on that tea bread. I hear an ex you dead. Yeah, later on red. Hey, mama, na 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 na, yeah. Yeah. Na 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 na. Tell you that I don't like weather living, because the way you're living, you find the use out of their living. You got a lazy world we're in. Blood again. Yes, and that's another little you get shot again. Fire for the wicked, fire for the heathen. What's my gun reach? I'm in a no life for no one. What's my quack reach? I'm in a no life for no one. As a little you try to keep him down again. What kind of juice that me go catch a day a blend? Who for little you that me go catch a day a hang? Yeah, tell you that I don't like weather living, because the way you're living, if I use them out of your living, you got a lazy world rolling. Bam chop again. Yes, and that's another 25 dead up again. Suicide bomber, then who send them? This I wanna go straight to all bush heavens. How much more you see I go make lose them head? How much more you see I go drop down dead? That was a mash shatter and they don't have no head. When my money come from them, I must live in dead. Coming with the fire, yeah, we're redder than red. Tell you that I don't like weather living, because the way you're living, if I use them out of your living, you got a lazy world rolling. Try fire again. Yes, and that's another 25 to the pocket. Rather than I help me, can't go look for your antiquity. Grab in a bag of friend a fight and friend. Then again, we used to friend from school days, now you know hear me again. Come tell me what to my whole time friend. Oh yeah. I tell you that I don't like weather living, because the way you're living, if I use them out of your living, you got a lazy world rolling. Blood again. Yes, and that's another little you get shot again. Fire for the wicked, fire for the heathen. What's my gun reach? I'm in a no life for no one. What's my quack reach? I'm in a no life for no one. As a little you try to keep him down again. What kind of juice that me go catch a day a blend? Who for little you that me go catch a day a hang? Yeah, tell you that I don't like weather living, because the way you're living, if I use them out of your living, you got a lazy world rolling.
Yeah, we are back. Oh, I believe in the wolf. Yeah, man. Okay, I believe in the wolf. It's fantastic, baby. Yeah. I think, Jeff, I think you have something to mention. Wisteria was mentioned about some blue people in Kentucky that was actually, they found some mercury deficiency, or else too much mercury, something like that, in their blood, and that caused their skin to turn blue.
Right. She made the correction. It was actually silver, not blue, not the mercury.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Right. So the mercury. I'm sorry. The silver is the it's the element that you can put in the body, and it doesn't really have a negative effect other than it turns your skin blue. There's some evidence that can prove that it can help eliminate some and stop even some cancers and other diseases in the body. Whereas
herpes. It's supposed to kill herpes.
In the hybrids or hybrids. Maybe it's in their diet where they have a lot of silver, and maybe they know something that's beneficial to it. I don't know if it has some effect if they're in outer space, and maybe radiation. Like the radiation, they're immune to it, or I don't know. This is just my thoughts on this.
We're not trying to debunk you here, John. Just reading the chat room comments here.
I really don't care if people believe me or not. I know it happened. There's 20 witnesses that will agree with me, and so there you go.
Right. I'm not trying to debunk you. I'm just trying to put a scientific view on it, saying it is a possibility. That's for sure.
John, how sure are you that they were definitely shapeshifters, and what percent chance do you think that it wasn't extraterrestrial? Or are you sure?
I'm 100% positive that they were extraterrestrial. But let's say that they did take colloidal silver and it turned their skin a grayish blue. Then how did they hypnotize all 20 of us? How'd they do that?
When you finally realized that they were blue, were you just like, oh, that's weird? Or were you like in shock? Or were you just like in such a haze that you just couldn't rationalize everything?
You know what? All of the above. I imagine, I was saying this earlier, imagine talking to somebody for upwards of 10 minutes before you realized that they were an extraterrestrial. And right around the time that your brain finally goes, oh my God, I'm talking to an extraterrestrial, then you black out. That's when I was about to grab my phone and take a picture of him. He was standing right next to me the whole time. And everybody, we all blacked out. All of us. Audrey blacked out to the point where she forgot until the next day. It's like, how do you run into extraterrestrials at your own UFO conference that you put on and forget until the next day? How did that even happen?
Were there only 20 people there?
No, there was 150 people there. But you got to figure the conference had ended and a lot of people left. So, but I didn't leave. I was going to stay there till the end because I was still trying to sell my book also. And only after the conference, when they walked up to me and started talking to me, did I realize
something weird's going on here.
After talking for 10 minutes, what was happening, man? And it just blew my mind. It seemed like all of us figured it out at the same time. There was a crowd that formed around us. There was a
my question is why?
That's
why
when they
would
started
they be
asking
there?
him all those questions.
John, did you hear that? Why would they be there? Why did they?
I believe it's a part of soft disclosure. I believe that they wanted to be seen. They wanted to be heard. Don, more specifically, wanted to field questions, and he did. I believe it was a deliberate attempt, and also they knew that I would be outspoken about it. They knew that I would write a book about it. They knew that I would be on multiple shows talking about it. They knew that I would talk about this for the rest of my life until I die. And I certainly plan on talking about it more and more and more.
Can you tell us some of the good questions that were asked and answered by them?
I can. Actually, R. Keith Andrews asked the best questions. He came up and said, are you from the Pleiades? And the guy said, yeah, I'm a shifter and I'm a healer from the Pleiades. And then he said, I ran into a Martokian a couple years ago. So what is a Martokian? To us, we call Mars, but if you live on Mars, most of the population on Mars is actually inside the planet. They call themselves Martokians, and they call the planet Martok. But Keith mentioned to Don that he had seen a Martokian, and it aroused Don's curiosity. He's like, where did you see one? Why would one be here on Earth? Keith couldn't really answer those questions, but he did. He asked me questions about my book. My first book is entitled Yahweh the Biblical God is an Alien. And he picked up my book and he was asking me questions about my book. And I was trying to sell my book to an alien, basically.
He must have been out of money.
Yeah, you know what was funny is I'm like, and so I have my laptop on the table right in front of me, and I swing the laptop around and I go to my website, johnpolkmedia.com, and I'm showing him. I'm like, look, right here, you can, you don't have to do it now, but when you get home or back to your home planet, you just go online. It's really easy. You go online and you use your credit card.
We got some really cool comments in the chat room. Yeah. But hey, say hi, Scotty. This is my guitarist. Just walked in. Say hi.
Hey, peace, love, and the Beatles.
Peace, love, and the Beatles. He says. Whisper.
John Lennon had seen UFO.
Oh yeah.
He talked about it just before he got shot. So that was interesting, also.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 days a week is amazing. Have you seen that?
And Paul McCartney admitted that he was channeling a lot of the music that he wrote, that it wasn't coming from him, that it was coming from another source.
I
he
believe
said that
that
a number of years ago also.
They made anthem after anthem after anthem. Boom, boom, boom. They had 5 of the top 6 it's something that's never been seen since. They were amazing.
They were amazing.
Anyway.
They changed the landscape of music and forever.
Yeah, did you see 8 days a week?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's Ron Howard's newest movie. And they have some of the first tour they did of America, before the girls would just cheer and just drowned out the whole band. They redid it, and it's just amazing. If anyone has a chance to see it, it's an incredible documentary.
I love a good documentary.
Really well
I'm sure I'd enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah. So, any more questions, Jeff?
I don't have any right now. I think we should hear some more.
Okay, well, I've got some more. John, what do you think the best conference would be to go to for me? The one at Joshua Tree, or?
Yeah. Do you know who Laurie McDonald is by any chance?
I don't. I'm kind of new to this game here.
That's okay. She's a hypnotic regression therapist that practices in I believe the Sacramento area of California, and she was sitting outside with a number of what you would call Fadernauts or Jimmy Church's followers, and they're all hanging out, and Jimmy Church is sitting right next to her, and she says, "I'm a UFO magnet. Watch this," and she does something. And the next thing you know, over 100-something people see a UFO. And she has this laser in her hand. And she shoots the laser up at the UFO. And the UFO shot a laser back down towards the crowd. Now, that was incredible. And that was at Contact in the Desert this past year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the one in Joshua Tree.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of reminds me of shit. I never tried a laser. I'm going to try that because I can usually get them to come and show themselves.
Yeah, and one of my good friends, he came over to my house about 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Hey man, let's go outside and look at the stars." Almost sounds gay, but whatever. So I'm like, "Okay, let's do it, man." So we go outside and boom, we both see a UFO. We see the same UFO. And imagine a star that is just way, way, way too close. And this star, it's almost shaped like a starfish, where it's got these radial arms coming out from a center. And the center was black. It looked like a vortex into another dimensional realm with like these radial arms that were curvy coming off of it. And we sat there for probably 20 minutes just staring at it. And then the bugs were starting to get bad. So we stepped inside for a minute. I'm like, watch, dude, watch. We'll walk right back outside and it'll be gone. And poof, it was gone. And then the next day, my buddy called me and said, hey, man, that same UFO is in the same spot in the sky. So I go outside and I see it again. And the night before, it actually came towards us. And when I saw it the second night, it actually went away from me backwards. And then my buddy and I, we went to go watch football at this place down the street on Monday. And we ran into these two chicks, and my buddy, he's basically hitting on them, which was cool. And I'm basically the wingman. I've got a girlfriend, but I was there for the ride. And the conversation got real loose, and we mentioned the fact that we saw a UFO about 3 weeks ago, and they said that they saw the same thing. And I'm like, gotta be kidding me. They're like, no, we're not. So these kind of things happen to me all the time.
The black part in the middle. Actually. How big was it? Was it like the moon, or was it like a giant planet, or what did it look like?
At first we thought it was a satellite. So he has this app on his phone where it can tell you if it's a satellite or if it's a planet or whatever. You know, there's a bunch of free apps on Droid phones and iPhones anymore. And we're trying to science this thing away at first, which is what you should always do if you think you see a UFO. But then it started getting closer to us, moving towards us, and had these radial arms coming off of it. So it was clearly not a planet. It was clearly not a satellite. It was clearly a UFO. We both saw it. We both saw it at the same time. And these ladies, it turns out they live right down the street from where I live, and they saw the same thing.
I want to see one. I haven't seen nothing. Hey, could you talk about your first abduction, or your best abduction story, or your favorite abduction story?
The first one, I know I was abducted before I was 15, but I just can't honestly remember it. But the first one I remember, I was 15 years old. My parents were rich. We lived in $1 million condominium on the ocean in Daytona Beach, which was the perfect backdrop for alien abduction. So where I lived, I could just sit up in my bed and look out the sliding glass door, and I could see the ocean and decide if I was going to skip school or not and go surfing. But this one night, I look out, and it was not uncommon to see the reflection of the moon off of the rolling tide coming in, crashing against the shore. But this night, it was clearly not the moon. But it looked like the moon, and it just kept getting closer and kept getting closer and kept getting closer to the point where I'm like, that's not the moon. Am I really seeing what I think I'm seeing? And then the next thing I know, I see 3 grays on my balcony, and they're looking in through the sliding glass door at me, and I'm making eye contact with them. Classic gray, maybe 3.5 feet tall, just like you would see on any kind of picture, classic gray. And so they have their heads up against the glass, almost like kids at a zoo looking at a tiger or something in a cage. And then the next thing I know, they were inside my room without opening the door. And they come up alongside the bed, and then poof, I don't remember anything after that. I woke up the next day, and my genitals were hurting, my butt was hurting. And then a couple days later, the pain subsided, and to be honest, I thought it was a dream. And then in my late 30s, I started to really, really see all of that happening over and over and over again. Like the term I used before, pop my alien memory cap. And then once that started happening to me, that was probably like 8 years ago, I started to see UFOs at an incredible clip, unlike I ever had in my life by far. And then when I became a Reiki master instructor, the incidents in the clip of seeing UFOs and seeing ghosts and stuff like that increased exponentially. And then when I became an ordained minister, I'm actually a metaphysical minister. When I went through my education in metaphysics, it increased the clip of seeing UFOs even more also. So as I get older, it just seems to happen more frequently.
What do you think of abduction now? I mean, would you invite it into your life, or is it something you don't like?
Yeah, it's still happening to me. I love it. I think it's the coolest thing that could ever happen to me. So imagine this. I'm on a spaceship, and it's the craziest story. I'm on a spaceship, and I'm cold, and I look down and I'm in my underwear, which means I sleep in my underwear, not to get personal or private, but I sleep in my underwear. So when I was on the ship in my underwear, I knew they took me from my bed. And I'm sitting down on this cold metal surface, and there's 3 people next to me on one side of me, and I'm starting to shiver because outer space is cold. And the furthest one away from me was probably 8 foot tall and Asian looking with these huge eyes. And he starts talking to me, and he says, we're going to have to take you away for 300 years to teach you the Akashic record, just like we did to Enoch, who was mentioned once in the Old Testament of the Bible. God descended from the sky in a fiery chariot and took Enoch up into heaven. You know, okay.
Wait a minute. Did he take Enoch in his underwear? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. It's a very, very astute question. I don't know how to answer that one.
Well, curious minds want to know, Curious minds want to know this.
Yes, what happened? Do you think you had 300 years worth of experience or of learning?
No, it's what I said. I said, that's great, man. I'd love to know the whole Akashic record. But then I stopped myself and I said, wait, you can't do that. And he's like, well, yeah, I can. I was like, well, please don't. He asked why. I said, because I just fell in love. I have this incredibly awesome girlfriend. We're so totally in love. And if you take me for 300 years, guess what? She's going to think I was murdered. And so will my family. And so will all my friends. And so will anybody and everybody that has ever known me, because my body will be gone. Everybody will think I'm dead. So I came up with the concept. I said, allow me to cheat time in another dimension. So take me away for 300 years, but in the dimension in which you take me to and return me back to, it will only take 3 days. And in the space-time
that's what I was thinking you meant.
You can do stuff like that in space-time continuum if you know how to manipulate it, which I don't, but the concept exists. Einstein talked about it, actually, in some of his philosophical papers. So I'm trying to barter with this alien, and he's like, you know what? That's a great idea. And he said, but guess what? You've used up all your cheating time in another dimension bargaining chips. You've done it the last 5 lifetimes, so you don't have any more borrowing or trading favors that you can use. So that's out. He said the only reason you even thought of it is because you remembered it from a past life experience, cheating time in another dimension. I said, well, how about this? Instead of taking me away for 300 years, abduct me every night. Whether you take my body or psychically abduct me, where you basically take my soul while I'm sleeping and I'm astrally projecting and put it back in my body before I wake up in the morning. And so he agreed to do that. So anyway, that happened to me.
Okay, hold on a second. Go.
You are in your underwear.
So go back to the spaceship. So the alien was an 8 foot tall, kind of Asian looking guy. Were there humans there with you?
Yeah, or at least they looked human. They all looked human, but this Asian, he had the same black eyes like the one at the UFO conference. Huge, big black eyes, void of any color. They were just two big black eyes and unusually huge eye orbits also. So get this. So years later, he actually told me that he is, in fact, Enlil of the Anunnaki. And I was like, well, why did you disguise your identity from me? And he said, because you were not spiritually mature enough at the time to be able to handle it and fathom it. So that's why I came at you as somebody different. He basically shapeshifted on me because he didn't want me to know what his true identity was.
So these weren't Palladians, they were Anunnaki people?
Yeah, the Anunnaki conquered the Pleiades, Cygnus, Orion, Sirius, multiple constellations, many hundreds of thousands, if not million years ago.
Did they conquer them violently, or did they just assimilate them?
They did basically what they did here on Earth. They seeded life there. The belt stars of Orion, Alnilam, Alnitak, and Mintaka, we can see with the naked eye. But behind those stars is basically a celestial nursery of stars. Gases are collapsing, crashing into each other, creating planets. And it gets a lot of investigation by astronomers. But it's a nursery for stars. It's a birthing place for planets. Therefore, there's a lot of extraterrestrial life that comes out of that part of the cosmos.
What do you know about the Anunnaki and their planet? Isn't this the Zacharias Sitchin stuff with the long orbit planet?
Nibiru.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate out there as to exactly what Nibiru is. Some people say it's kind of like the Death Star in Star Wars, that it's a space station. Others say that it is actually a planet. It's debatable. I don't know either way. I can't exactly answer that question, but I do, in my opinion, I do believe that Nibiru exists, whether it's an artificial structure or if it is a planet itself. I do believe it exists, and it does come into our orbit, or let's say our solar system, every 3,450 years.
Wonder why they'd live on that planet instead of Earth. There's got to be something that's good about it if they're going to be that far away from the sun for so long.
Yeah, I agree. But there was a day when we walked amongst the gods and the gods walked amongst us. You know, back in the day of the gods, and at least according to ancient alien astronaut theory, that the gods are extraterrestrials, and I totally believe it.
Do you think that's when the Bible was written, like 3,500 years ago or 34?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you think that's when all the Bible was written, when they were here last time?
The Old Testament was written back then, but you know, it was first written in Aramaic, and then translated into Latin and Greek and into Roman languages, and then retranslated. And then there was the Council of Nicaea that was directed by Constantine, who was given, I don't know if you've ever heard of Greek fire, but he was given a weapon, which was a parabolic disc that would literally shoot fire at somebody, or more specifically, approaching warships to Italy.
That's not the same as Greek fire? I thought Greek fire was like a pitch that they actually sprayed it out of these guns. No, so that's not Greek fire. That's something else.
No, that's just what they called it because they didn't have a better term for it. It's actually, yeah, technically it's not correct, but that's just what it's kind of stuck. It's an incorrect term that's stuck, but they did call it Greek fire. But supposedly that was given to Constantine by an angel, and you know, how can an angel give you a weapon?
Ships with it, right?
A good question.
Yeah, or people's underwear right off of them. Oh yeah,
yeah. And Archangel Michael gave Joan of Arc her sword. So how does an angel give somebody a sword unless it wasn't really an angel? It was an extraterrestrial.
Okay, guys, that's time for a break now. Can you hear the music coming in?
I can.
We're going to have a little break, and this time it's coming from a different feed, guys, so you could either... I'll mute you on this end, that way you can still talk to each other, okay?
Was a little girl, maybe 5'2", the cutest little feet made my heart go tweet, tweet, tweet. Quite a pleasant disposition. Then came a pretty young French girl whom I met in Las Vegas when I was there with my parents. Oh my, had a real nice conversation. Met a girl at the bakery. Wanted to borrow my car from me. I said, take it, baby. She took it down to Mexico. Ran over a man named Juan. And I went to college. Met a college girl. She lived in a sorority house across from school. We got a real fine education. 7 women on my mind. Now I'm married. A very lovely wife. 3 cute little boys. So nice. And that's just half the story. But the girls in my life.
Oh, yeah. Can you dig it?
Hey, we're coming back right on. I guess Reverend has to leave early, so we're going to come right back in.
Are we?
Yeah, we're going back on because apparently John's he's got to go soon. He's got to get up early for work.
Yeah, forgive me, guys. I gotta dip here soon.
Oh.
John, this is a great interview. You're amazing.
Okay, well, I have a question from the chat room for you. Sure. Because we started out with the other topic. So, why do some people have such terrible negative experiences all their life, And where are their guides then? Where are their spirit guides then?
Okay, why do some people have terrible experiences?
Yeah, like a lot, all over and over throughout their whole life, and it seems like they don't have any spirit guides watching over them. Some people just seem prone to a lot of bad luck.
The way I would answer that is that before we are born, we have what we call the contract, and the contract basically will outline certain life experiences that you will have to go through to become closer to the universal God consciousness. And some people will elect, before they're even born, to go through a negative kind of experience with extraterrestrials. Through reincarnation, we all go through everything. So in one lifetime, I'm a man. In another lifetime, I'm a woman. I like women in this lifetime. Next lifetime, I might be gay. I might be a hermaphrodite in the next lifetime. If you don't like black people, you'll probably be black in the next lifetime. If you don't like white people and you're not white, you'll probably be white in the next lifetime. And these are all certain things that we will all have to go through reincarnation. And I believe that individuals that are going through very negative experience with extraterrestrials, it's part of their contract. And I personally am very, very blessed that the majority of all my experiences are completely and totally positive. But one thing I also do is I pray and meditate every single day of my life. And I pray and I meditate on being surrounded by benevolent, loving, ascended masters. And I know that it absolutely works, that I am protected, but it's something that I've been doing for many decades. And you just can't just start doing it and expect for it to work. You got to work with your spirit guides all the time. And the more you work with them, the more evidence of their reality will be very, very clear in your lifetime.
So we made a contract, but we can still make this life, the one we're in now, way better by getting in touch with our spirit guides?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's not something that you can just start doing today and it will work. You know, it takes a long time. It takes,
Where do you start?
Perhaps. I'm sorry?
Where do you start?
You start one day at a time. You start by praying and meditating to surround yourself with loving and benevolent angels. And the more that you do it, the more it actually works. One way to get in touch with the spirit world is to get what you call Archangel Oracle cards. More specifically, Doreen Virtue has a deck of Archangel Oracle cards. And that really helped me to break through into the spirit world. So, and there's no correct or incorrect way to do the cards. You can do them any way you want. You can pull just one card. You can pull 3 cards and make a little recipe out of the messages on the 3 cards. If you're shuffling through the deck and one happens to pop out, you should always take special attention to that one. And you read the card and it tells you who the archangel is and what their primary function is. And then you go to this little book and it explains the card further and explains what are the strengths of this particular archangel and how to work with them. So I've been doing that for, I don't know, well over 10 years. And the more that you work with the angels, the more you can see evidence that they're in your life. That's for sure.
So all the stuff that you've learned about is just in the last 10 years of your life? A lot of it?
Now, my mom turned me on to aliens when I was like 5 years old. So, I've been with the spirit world since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I could see ghosts. The imaginary friend was not an imaginary friend. It was something that was very real. And,
yeah, but I think hang on.
My mom could see him too.
Yeah, me and my mother as well. I think that's a lot more common, and people just don't remember it. And a lot of people have these imaginary friends, and most kids can see ghosts, I think, until about the age of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, and then we're taught also as a small child that it's not real. We're taught by our parents that, it's just an imaginary friend. So the conditioning and the brainwashing starts when we're very, very young.
Certainly, and like I've seen kids and dogs, like young kids before the age of 3, and dogs at the same time look at a spot in the room and follow something around that no one else can see. And the 3 or the 2-year-old and the dog are looking in the same direction and following this thing. Anyone else ever seen that?
Yeah, I have. My old roommate, we could see ghosts in my house. And when certain people would come over, the lights would flicker on and off. The TV would go on and off. This one specific friend, whenever he would come over, they loved it when he came over. And the ghosts would just mess with anything that was electronic. Namely the lights and the television.
I gotta tell you, every time I go near street lights, always flicker when I walk by them. That's really weird. Like, it's just, I thought at first, that's just a light that's, it's ready to burn out, but it's just too often. Like where I walk around a corner here, okay, there goes another one flickering. I go to the next place, oh my God, that's one too. And it's like every fourth one almost does something when I go in here, when I'm driving my bike or walking down the street.
That happens to me too. It absolutely does. What happens to me a lot in my bedroom is my printer on my desktop computer will start going back and forth. The assembly that holds the cartridges, it never prints anything, but it will go back and forth. And you can hear it, and it totally trips you out. My girlfriend has been around plenty of times when that has happened. One time, she's like, "Do you see any ghosts in the room?" And I see lightning. Like, that's the best way to describe it. Like a streak of lightning floating through the air, and it came like pretty much right over our heads, and it scared the absolute out of my girlfriend. But things like that happen in this house all the time.
I got all kinds of people in the chat room, eh? They all agree. Lulabelle, she says the same thing happens to her. Wisteria says she sets the alarm off in Walmart when she walks in. Yeah. Oh, and we thought we had it bad. And that's when she's walking in. So what do you bring? You're not stealing anything. What do they think is happening here?
Wow. John, can you tell us about Joan of Arc real quick before you leave? And her sword?
As the story goes, pardon me, Archangel Michael descended from heaven with this sword and just gave her this sword. And she was 17 years old, leading the French army as a female. That's unheard of. A few hundred years ago, females did not lead anything militaristic, period. But the power that sword could wield, and whenever she used that sword in battle, it almost like transformed her into this super soldier. And she would slay many, many, many men. And usually the leader of your military will not be on the front line. They have frontline people that end up getting killed before you even get to the generals and commanders. She was on the front line, and everybody basically followed her. And then during the Inquisition, she was almost killed during the Inquisition because she would not divulge certain information about that sword. But in the end, she never got killed in the Inquisition when they were killing everybody that was not Catholic. So it's a pretty interesting story. I'm sure that it's not completely correct what I just said, but that's the best that I know it.
Do we know where the sword went?
What do you think
go ahead,
about the? What do you think about the? It's a claim. My grandfather was on the high. He was on the stake high council of the Mormon Church, and he claimed that the church was in possession of Michael's the archangel of his sword. They were in possession of it, and they held it in their whatever type of secure location that they have. Have you heard of that? Or
I heard that the Knights Templar got their hands on it, but that's hundreds of years ago, so I don't know. I don't know what happened to it.
I want it back. Give it back to me now.
Maybe it's on Oak Island.
It's in the money pit.
Well, if we could go back to the right. If we could go back to people having strange experiences with electrical phenomenon, what type of I guess paranormal things happened before we harnessed this electricity that we currently use? What were these other beings? What were they doing to get our attention? Without if we didn't have lights, a couple hundred years ago, what would they do to get our attention back then?
Not all of the thoughts that we think are generated by our own mind. More evolved spirit beings can actually place thoughts in our mind, and then we act upon those thoughts. So that's one way that they can communicate to us and through us. Not all thoughts we think are ours. Sometimes when you come up with something that's like overly brilliant, that's basically a channeled download. And we often take credit for it when it's not even our own creation. It's hard to decipher the voices in your head. But so get
Can
this.
you
Get
hear
this.
us? Don't
When,
try to decipher anything. You're giving away way too many secrets, John. Stop it.
I've had the experience where a friend of mine and we used to meditate together, and at one point we reached a level where we would sit there and have almost instantaneous communications, like telepathically. But we, at some point, after we, experienced this, we said, let's play with this and see what we could do. And so we would set our mind to it, and we would basically kind of insert suggestions into people's mind, and then literally we'd both watch the person do the action that we suggested to them. Was that something that we did, or we were just predicting the future?
I believe that you did it, and that's the same thing that the spirit world can do to us. So most of the time when I see a UFO, something will tell me to go outside. Now, I will star watch quite a bit, and when I deliberately am out looking for UFOs, I usually don't see anything. But when something just tells me, get up off the couch and go outside, it often, imagine it's like 2:30 in the morning and something tells you to go outside. Those kind of things happen to me quite a bit. So who or what placed that thought in my mind at that time makes you wonder.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so now I have to think that an extraterrestrial put a thought in my mind and made me walk outside at 2:30 in the morning and look up at the sky and see a UFO. That happens to me quite a bit.
Wisteria is wondering from the chat room. She would like. Oh, she wants to know about choosing parents at the time of coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's part of the contract. It is. So, my girlfriend, she's in a really ugly divorce situation with kids, and she always blames herself for picking this loser who makes plenty of money, but he's just a horrible person. And she blames herself, and I say, you know what? This was in your contract before you were even born. The kids, would be completely different human beings if you ended up having kids with somebody else. The kids had to be exactly who they are, born exactly when they were born, and birthed by you and this other guy. And it couldn't have been any other way, so, and she still doesn't believe it. She still thinks that it was just a really bad decision. And I'm like, well, it is a bad decision, but it was made before you were born. Your parents are chosen before you are born. And it's something that you just can't change.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't quite remember before I was born. I remember being born. I remember being in the womb, but I haven't got quite to that point where I can remember before being born.
Wow, that's a trip.
Yeah, I'm working on it. More meditation and also I like to remind everyone the supermoon tonight. Oh, yeah, the supermoon. Everybody look at the supermoon and howl.
I don't get the supermoon. I wish I understood.
It's just closer, isn't it?
I don't get it. I know the moon moves around the Earth.
It's on an it's a slightly elliptical orbit, isn't it?
It's 30,000 miles closer to the Earth, so it's going to appear 14% bigger and 30% brighter.
Why?
Based on my research.
Is the sun pulling it?
No, it's an ellipse around Earth. It's
not a perfectly round orbit.
Yes.
It's an elliptical orbit.
Does the orbit change all the time for the moon?
No, it's just no, Darren, listen. It stays the same all the time, and it's not quite perfect. It slightly comes in closer and goes further away on its way around its orbit. It's elliptical. It's very simple.
It goes around the Earth every 28 days, right? Ish.
Yeah.
But it changes. I don't get it.
No, it doesn't change. It just comes closer and further away on its elliptical orbit. It's always the same orbit.
It does change though. It doesn't go around every 28 days. Sometimes it's 26 days. Sometimes
really?
It's 29 days. So, yeah, that's why you get the blue moon.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. You
figure it out.
Got me on that one, Jeff.
Well, that's
John?
in relation to the sidereal day versus the astronomical day. Because if you imagine we're orbiting the sun, but it takes 4 minutes less for the Earth to rotate because we're 4 minutes ahead in our rotation or in our orbit around the sun. Look up sidereal day.
When we see the moon moving across the sky, most of the movement is because we're spinning, but some of the movement is because it's orbiting us, right?
It's orbiting at the same time that we're spinning. It's just that it orbits slower than the Earth spins.
Then we spin.
Correct.
Does it orbit the same direction or the opposite direction of our spin?
It is, I don't know.
Maybe John
I think
knows.
it's the same. I think it's the same. I believe it's the same. And it's slowing down. It's going slower, just the same as the Earth is actually slowing down. Everything we're in this slowing down process in this this solar system.
Okay. So John, hang on. Let's ask John some more questions before we can continue with the moon after he's got to leave soon.
Yes.
So I want to ask him. What does the moon have to do with the white wolf, your spirit guide? Is any significance, the supermoon coming up?
I believe that there's always significance in the moon. When I saw the blue beings at the conference, it was a full moon. The full moon and the moon cycles affects, of course, the tides. It's interesting that the moon is 400 times closer to us than the sun is. The moon is also 400 times smaller than the sun. So that's why we have perfect eclipses. And the odds of the moon being that exact dynamic in size is almost impossible.
Yeah, I've talked about this a lot. It's ridiculously impossible. That's why I say the damn thing's. It's probably a ship, and it has a cloaking shield around it. It's not even doesn't even look like that. It's probably some alien ship that's parked there, or a Death Star or something.
The speeds too, right? Don't the speeds have like an amazing? Aren't the speeds the same as like the sun around the Earth or something like that?
Something like that, but it also has what you call a synchronistic orbit also, so that we only see 59% of it. In other words, 41% of it we never see, the dark side of the moon. And then back in 1960, we had lunar orbiters get photography of actual artificial structures on the backside of the moon. And according to John Lear, we were actually mining helium-3 off of the moon back in 1962. Now, helium-3, if you put enough helium-3 in the space shuttle's rocket boosters, it's enough to power the entire United States for a whole year. So it's an invaluable, precious commodity in outer space.
Oh, we got a better one. Adam and I came up with just using the vacuum of space itself to create energy.
Yeah,
it's infinite
It's not
energy.
using propulsion to get here.
There's-
Propulsion is a very, very dinosaur concept in the cosmos.
I think we were onto something, though. I think you could actually harness power out of the vacuum of space just because it's a vacuum. So if once you introduce matter into that, it's going to create energy just because of the vacuum effect.
Yeah, Victor Scharberg came up with that concept. Instead of being pushed, you're being pulled. You know, instead of shooting hot gases out the back of a rocket bell cap that's made out of tungsten, you're being pulled forward by the universal spirit energy. So if you know how to tap into it, it's an unlimited power source.
Oh, by the way, Willie's in the chat room now, and he says that moon cycles make bitches crazy.
He's trying to call, I think. Why hasn't he got through? You should give out the number again, really slow, so that people can call.
Oh yeah, it's 775-990-8447. But I think it would work better if you want to talk to John, because he's on that line to call me on Skype me on Wolfman Mike 47, because I didn't get time to add him into the other group with us.
But hey, gentlemen, I please forgive me. I got to get up and work tomorrow. So, but thanks for having
John.
me. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for staying as long as you have.
Very, very good questions, everybody, including those in the chat room also. So I do appreciate it, Wolfman Mike, and everybody else that joined us tonight. Do appreciate it, and let's do it again sometime also.
It was a pleasure, sir. Everybody give a big hand of applause for Reverend John Pope. Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Woo! Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I got to hit the hay,
John,
as it's almost 2 a.m. where I'm at here
Okay,
in Florida.
I owe you one. I'll come on your show. I owe you one. I'll come on your show and I'll play a song for you.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night now.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Wow, that was awesome. Okay, we're gonna take.
God, he's great.
I know. Okay, we're gonna take another short break. Everybody,
Rockin' tonight under the full moon with the Wolfman. Yeah, baby.
All right. Okay.
Twilight zone.
the bone. So you will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. So you will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. So you will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. 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 When the bullet hits the bone.
Hello. You're on the Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. We are live. We got a caller. How are you, sir?
Hey, Wolfman, this is Willie.
Oh, you got in this way. I was trying to add you on the other line, brother. I found you on there. But it's okay. We got you here. Let's see if I got...
I thought you were keeping me off Skype because I tried to call in with some maybe, I was going to try to question your guest on some of his theories and answers.
Oh.
I felt like you shut me out.
Wait a minute, brother. I didn't see this number try to call at all, except now.
No. I think I got an answering machine via Skype.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that was at 11:20. Were you the person trying to call before the show?
No, I was trying to call when your previous guest was on because I had some legitimate questions to ask him, and I was going to try to refute some of
Are you
stuff.
talking about Reverend John Polk tonight, or are you talking about the other show last?
I tried to call in on Saturday, and then I tried to call in tonight.
Oh, really?
Tonight,
I didn't get any notification on the computer that anyone tried to call at all while I was talking to John until after he left. Then it came up that someone's trying to call, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But it's not my fault, and I wasn't trying to shut you out.
That is convenient. When you don't have someone that's going to
come on, Willie,
call in and actually challenge some of the things he says. You have technical difficulties once again, Wolfman. Damn it!
I'm sorry, brother. You know what? I'll get you. I will get you that interview.
You know what? Last time you shut me out. You know what you did? You put your wife on the phone or your girlfriend on the phone to try to push the conversation in another direction.
Oh no!
Question for this man tonight.
What'd you think of John?
I think he's a con man that's trying to start a fucking cult. And I wanted to question him on some things, but your technical difficulties, once again, holds out the opposite. You guys are like freaking Hillary Clinton shills over here. It's pathetic. I wanted to ask legitimate questions. I wanted to challenge some of his answers. And Darren, I wanted to call in to make sure you're okay down there because I see there's rioting and all that crap down in Portland. But, you did the best you could with the interview.
You should have, Willie.
Baseball bat to work today.
Willie, you should have been paying attention to your Skype. If you notice it, somebody has sent you a friend request on Skype, and I've called myself Wolf as my first name and Man as my second name. That I was trying to add you to the call into my panel's separate Skype. And that way,
I don't even know why you're lying right now, Wolf.
I'm not lying. If you look at your Skype, you'll see it. You'll see that there's a friend request, and if you would have accepted that friend request, I would have put you into my panel tonight. And you
the panel.
Yeah, with Darren and Jeff, you would have been in the panel. Are you hearing me, man?
Friend request. Just answer the damn phone. I tried to call in.
I didn't get no calls to come up on here, and I would have seen it. I'm staring right at the screen. So if something happened, it's not my end. I don't know what. Maybe it's because John was on that line, and it wouldn't let anyone else call in because I don't know why. That's weird.
I thought it was a great show. John was amazing.
I wasn't
what a great
going
guest
to
you
wreck
got.
the show. I was going to ask. I was going to try to counter some of his bullshit answers. That's all, man. I wasn't going to try to wreck your show.
Oh, it would have been all right.
It's not too late. You can still wreck it.
Yeah,
I do a pretty good job myself most of the time.
I'm just messing with you, Willie. Willie, what are you doing tonight?
I am barbecuing. I don't have a lot of time because I tried to call in an hour earlier, so I can't talk with you guys as much as I wanted to. But I tried to get in just to try to, class up the joint. And when you guys asked these questions, it felt like, holy shit, you were laying down, taking up the freaking pooper chute, whatever this guy was feeding back to you.
Dude, that's my style. I'm the Art Bell. I do Art Bell when I ask questions. I ask lots of questions, and I make myself believe everything they're saying. And I ask lots of questions. I don't know that it's not true. I don't know it is true, but that's my interviewing style.
Hey, have you guys ever heard about in Canada here? I know you all heard about Oak Island, but you ever heard about the Bell Island boom?
No.
Oh, wow.
Change the subject again, you son of a bitch.
Well, let's talk paranormal. I don't want. I tried to get you on. You're on right now. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah, well, the guest is gone conveniently.
Wow.
Do your worst, Wolfman.
No, you're the guest now.
I ain't a
You're on, Willie. You're on the guest line, so
Don't
you are
talk
the
about
guest.
not getting on the show. Let's talk. You're on the show now.
Yeah, I'm on the show now that the fucking talent's gone.
Well, what were we going to ask him? What were you going to ask
I was
him?
going to refute some of it. Darren was very diplomatic. Wolfman, you were terrible with your interview questions. You kept playing music. Darren actually asked legitimate questions about the Robu or whatever.
That's our show.
Why do they
He comes
live
in
there?
with the funny questions. It's great.
Dude, we all have a purpose on the show. And
Yes,
and you do too.
All right, Wolfman, your purpose is to host it and wreck it. Darren was actually asking legitimate questions like, why do you live on Nibiru? And the guest's answer was basically, I like to take a massage and to go to the spa. Where if I could have gone in there, I would have directly asked him again. I was like, dude, how the fuck they live on Nibiru?
Willie, we can still
That's a good
answer
question
you.
too. Well, I live on a planet that's on. What's so special about that planet that if it is a planet and they're in it, they must be in it, not on it, or something.
Well, you know what I got from this guest? And I don't want me to wreck your show, guys, because I got a barbecue and shit. He kept talking about his girlfriend, this and that. This guy sounds like the kind of guy who don't want to fucking get a job. He wants to write books and basically say that he is being talked to by other entities that no one can see. He's special. He's all doing this because he got a little dick and his girlfriend wants to fucking dump his ass. It's pathetic. You guys should have drilled his ass on this. Say, give me some fucking proof. Give me some proof. That's all I asked for. He says he gets woken up in the middle of the night
questions, man.
by aliens that say, hey, come outside and look at me. Well, go outside and take a fucking video. Give me some proof. Don't give me your damn...
Come on, Willie. Tell us the real problem. You voted for Hillary and you're still upset, right?
He did not vote for Hillary.
I'm kidding.
You did not vote for Hillary. There's one thing I'm sure of. It's that he voted not for Hillary.
Did you vote for Richard C. Hoagland as well, Willie?
I did not vote, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you should have wrote in Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bell gappers that were going to vote.
Yeah, but
Hoagland
that's
with me.
But Mickey's always the one who gets in. He's the one behind the scenes. It is Mickey Mouse.
Exactly.
You
I
keep
think
changing
Willie,
the
you should
subject,
write a book.
man.
I think you should write a book, Willie.
Something's wrong with your your end there, Jeff.
What would Willie's
you're
best
breaking
book
up.
be about? Dating on Friday night?
Yeah, right. You should
There,
write a
that's
book
better.
on how life really is and give us the truth. I want to know the truth. I want to know how it really is, and I think you're the man to do it. You have all the
Well, the
answers.
first thing
Please put it in a
The first
book.
thing I do is expose con men. And you just had one on your show, and you wouldn't let him be exposed because, Mike, you're a terrible freaking host. Darren, you ask softball questions, and you shut me out when I try to get in there and actually try to get some truth. That's all we want. We all want the same damn thing. We have interest in the same thing. So we want freaking proof. And this guy claims, good Lord, man, God, literally, it comes back to his girlfriend and him not being able to take her out and have a nice damn salad or whatever the fuck it is that he needs to do to impress this woman so he convinces her that he's talking to freaking aliens? Are you shitting me? And now he's a big time guy. He gets up in the morning and he says, oh, honey, I ain't going to no damn job. I'm going to a freaking alien convention. And idiots that listen to this shit show are going to go buy his book and put money in his pocket when he's basically lying to everybody. He's just a con man that can't get laid, and he doesn't have enough confidence in himself to look his girlfriend in the eye, which he went into detail to say she's going through a divorce or some crap with a fucking home wrecker. And he's going to say, I don't need to work. I'm going to lay on my iPad and my boobies are going to type out some bullshit, and then I'm going to make up stuff as I go along when I call into awesome radio shows with shit hosts and say, fucking A. This is what it is.
Willie,
Oh my God, Willie!
Stop. Willie. You might be right, but I'm glad that you didn't call earlier.
Yeah.
It would have destroyed the interview. Come on.
Side to stories.
What?
I can't say. There's others. If I called in, Darren, this is my first time I ever called in this show. I said, oh, hey, Wolfman. Thanks for having me on your show.
Hey, well, I can't say I don't. This is what some of the people, I mean, it's a whole skeptic. He's saying that he can't disagree with what you're saying, Willie, but he would probably not say it in a way that you're so, like, excited and tearing people apart.
Exactly. I think it'd be better if you just texted the questions. And then we can get you on after. I think we should do this all the time.
This is what your show is.
Destroy it.
Your show is degenerated to this. If you get a guest on that says, oh, hey, man, I just pulled a ladder out of my ass. Your next question will be, what? Are you a fireman? I mean, ask them, where the fuck did the ladder come from? Why is it up your ass?
Well, some people just like to do that. What's wrong with that? I pull a lot of objects out of my ass, sometimes a sofa. A fire truck. You should see me do a fire truck.
Extraordinary claims. They need extraordinary evidence. And jackasses like this fuck that was just on tonight, and he's talking about being a wingman for this guy. Fuck him, this freaking... But they need extraordinary evidence. And they're con men.
Just like art.
No,
about the entertainment value, and you never know. He could be right. He might be the genuine deal. You never know.
Well, I put 99.9% that he's just fucking crazy, and he's playing people, and he cheapens what we all want. We all want the truth. We want evidence. We want the truth. We'd like to know that there's aliens out there, but there ain't no. Good Lord, man! It was metaphysics. Fucking talking about yoga. Good Lord, man! and you actually asked him a good question, Darren. How do we talk to these bastards? And he's like, oh man, Well, it's a long process, but first of all, you basically sit around and, meditate. You know what he's telling me? He's telling me that I don't have control of my life. I need to sit in the middle of my living room and fucking meditate.
Yeah, it's a
You know what
contract.
that does?
That's the part I didn't like.
No.
It's like, can I do something now for my life? And then when I asked him, and I love John. I'm so glad he came on, and I think it was wonderful. But when I asked him about the abduction, the first abduction, and why he liked it, and he said that he came back and his penis hurt and his butt hurt, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think I would have liked that. And
No.
I wanted to ask him, and I did. I almost did.
Next time he should go. You know what? He shouldn't go up there in his underwear. We're never going to be walking around in Canada with no in your underwear. You'll freeze to death. You really wouldn't you? In Alaska, you'd freeze with just walking around in your underwear.
God, I was like, oh my God, that sounds horrible. No, I thought it was wonderful, but my butt hurt for 3 days. I'm like, what were they doing? Maybe they took sperm out of his parts there. I have no idea. That sounds terrible.
Hey, Jeff.
What do you think, Willie?
Hey, Jeff, have you ever dissected an alien?
I never have.
No? You never people that like when you carved them up in the lab there, you never got some people that just weren't people. You thought they might be something different.
No, just the cancer is alien to me. That's it. People that have the cancer, it changes the body.
He has the cancer.
Yeah. Oh.
Like that old woman. Dead air.
I wonder if Willie, if you should go to one of these paranormal conferences and
Willie,
see what it's all about.
Willie, would you go with Jeff and I?
Yeah, Wolfman be working he'd be working the rope there and not let me in.
That's right, buddy. I'll take you. You try getting in, I'll go bite you, man. I'll go bite your ass.
You say reasonable sense is not allowed in any conversations that take place.
Absolutely not. There's no place for it on this show, and you're not supposed to be wearing pants.
On our show.
You're not supposed to be wearing pants as well. Only people in their underwear can come on this show. You have to be in your underwear.
The fuck you know I got even pants on right now.
Oh,
walking
good.
around in freaking slippers. Barbecuing.
All right, well, I guess you're allowed on then. We'll let it go this time. Next time you better make sure you got some really weird underwear.
Willie, did you ask the googly-eyed girl out again?
No. No.
I think.
No, I don't.
I think you should. I think you liked her. She was smart.
I really do like her a lot. But,
that's what I thought.
Through my stalking and observing abilities, it seems that she is seeing the news. So,
Bazinga!
I think you should call her. You should take her out tomorrow, and then tell us what happens.
Yeah, I honestly don't know her number.
Give her a good bonk.
I will give her a good bonk. I'll straighten those fucking eyes out.
Yeah, that sound might work.
No, she's classy, man. I've done my best, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
It still doesn't make up for your lack of critical interviewing skills.
Oh,
we're a team here. He brings the funny questions.
I do not.
Darren, you actually tried to ask this guy questions, but you're too nice of a guy, man.
I can't help it. That's
oh, come on. Some of my questions were pretty cynical. Maybe you didn't quite follow them.
You could be right. I missed the first part of the show, and then I missed every time I tried to call in on Skype because I couldn't hear you, and you hung up on me.
I might say funny things, but there's something behind it. It was actually a legitimate question or Actually, in this case, I was actually making fun of him.
I'm sorry,
Darren
I
had
missed
some
that.
really good
Literally,
questions.
when
Did very
I was on hold on Skype, talking to your answering machine, allegedly, but I think it was your damn girlfriend or your wife. That's why I had to text Darren. I said, "What the fuck am I banned?"
No, I told you weren't.
Then why can't I get you on
when
Saturday?
You went on and on and on and on. I think we dumped that show, didn't we?
I tried to call you guys on Saturday. You guys were saying, "Hey, no one's calling in." I kept trying to call in.
I thought you said you tried to call in once.
No, tonight. But I'm talking last Saturday when you guys were doing the live show.
All right, I don't want to hear any more about that, Willie. If we go there again, I'm gonna end this call. I'm not kidding. I've had enough of hearing about that one because you called in now. There's people listening, and okay, here we go.
Because I call in with critical questions regarding your interview skills.
All right, yeah, that's enough about that too.
Come on, Willie, just tell us what you want us to ask the guest. That's all we need to know.
Hello, is there a caller?
Reverend?
What?
Hello? Yeah, we got a caller. Another caller on with you there, Willie. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. I want to know what
Yep.
Willie guy.
Yeah, you're with Willie.
What's wrong with him?
I'm not sure. Ask him. You're on live with Willie.
Hey, Willie. You got a problem with your Willie?
I don't really.
With what?
Your Willie.
I'm Willie. Yes. Yes.
No. I want to know what's wrong with your Willie.
What the fuck? Am I talking to a lawnmower?
I think he wants to know what's wrong with your Willie.
You keep
Willie, what's wrong
yelling
with
like
your
someone
Willie?
stepped-
Yeah.
You keep yelling. It sounds like someone stepped on your Willie.
Dude, are you drowning right now? I can't understand what the fuck this person's saying.
I think you got a Willie in your ear.
I can't. What did they say?
He said he's got a Willie in his ear. He thinks he's got a Willie in his ear.
Got a Willie down his mouth. I can't understand what that person's saying.
I can.
I'm sorry.
It's pretty funny. I like it.
I got too much Willie in me.
He's got too much Willie in him. What's your name, sir?
You're gonna have to translate, Wolfman, because I can't understand.
What's your name, caller?
Sal.
Sal?
Sal from Seattle.
Sal from Seattle. Right on.
Nice.
Yeah. How you doing?
First time caller, long time listener.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, he's pretty good the first part.
Yeah, it was not bad.
When this Willie guy calls.
Yeah.
And then what the hell?
Do you got any do you got a paranormal story for us, Sal?
No. I just like listening to the show.
All right. Well, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. What did you think of?
You got problems, buddy. Whatever you are. I hope you're out there protesting. And is that what you did? You lost your voice because you're out there protesting because you don't have a job? Or you're living in your freaking parents' basement and the cell phone reception sucks. But holy crap. Don't call back. You're not welcome here. Jeez.
Yeah, sure. As soon as somebody picks on you, Willie?
Sounds like Willie's got a hater fan already.
I'm a skeptic.
Wow.
I'm a skeptic.
Oh, yeah.
That's Willie's biggest fan.
Yeah, you got a hater. Man, you better lock up your doors and watch out. Don't play with your drone in the backyard.
First caller, thanks to Willie.
Yeah, well, it literally sounded like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle calling from the freaking sewers. What the hell's wrong with that person? Jeez,
yeah, man.
What the hell's that person
Rock
calling
and roll with the Wolfman.
It's time for some music.
About 17 are all commies. They're county scum. They're all county scum. About 17 and they're all commies. They're all county scum.
Will you stay in a lover's story? If you stay, you won't be sorry, 'cause we believe in you. Soon you'll grow, so take a chance with a couple of kooks hung up on romancing. Will you stay in a lover's story? If you stay, you won't be sorry, 'cause we believe in you. Soon you'll grow, so take a chance with a couple of kooks hung up on romancing. We bought a lot of things to keep you warm and dry, and a funny old crib on which the paint won't dry. I bought you a pair of shoes, a trumpet you can blow, and a book of rules of what to say to people when they pick on you. 'Cause if you stay with us, you're gonna be pretty cookie too. Will you stay in a lover's story? If you stay, you won't be sorry, 'cause we believe in you. Soon you'll grow, so take a chance with a couple of kooks hung up on romancing. Go to school, remember how they messed up this old fool. Don't pick fights with the bullies or the cats, 'cause I know